Hey, here I am, Steel Studio. Steel Studio. Hold on a minute, guys. Woo, here we are. We're talking about the draft today. We got the draft coming up, man. The Steelers have had a hell of an off season. Lots of moves. And for that, I'm going to have a celebratory beer. Mm-hmm. We have loaded up in free agency, man. I'm excited. We got some guards. We got some defensive linemen. We got some new inside linebackers. We got Patrick P. We got a safety. We re-signed some guys, Ogunjobi, Kazee, but we still need more, and that's what this draft's about. And I've got the 12 prospects that I think the Steelers could be Pittsburgh Steelers. This draft is odd, man. Last year we knew who we were going to draft, a quarterback. The year before, we kind of knew we might get Najee. This year's an oddball. We don't know. A lot of people say offensive tackle. I personally think the Steelers are happier with Dan Moore than most people. I think they'll draft a tackle, but I think it'll be a little later, and he'll compete for the starting job, and he'll be the swing guy this year, a guy that could develop into a starter. I don't know if they think Dan Moore's the answer yet, but I think Dan Moore did a hell of a job the last 8 games. Um, I think the rest of the line solidified just fine, and I think we're going to be a lot better there this year. D line, a lot of people think we're going to go D line. And we could. If there's a stud there, we could. We need a Cam Hayward replacement soon, but that could wait till next year. But if there's a stud there, we're going to take him. And we could trade up, man. Some people think we're going to trade up for Jalen Walker, and that'd be a hell of a thing. But he's got some things going on. I don't know. It's going to be. It's we don't know. And so I got my guys. If we stay put, I think that we'll possibly get. And we do draft. We do draft 17th. As here's the draft order. And we could move up to number 9. A lot of people think to the Bears, maybe 11. Or we need to get Pat in front of the Titans and Texans and Jets for offensive linemen, if that's what we want to do. I don't know. It's going to be so interesting. We got number 32. This thing shows, for some reason, shows the Chiefs having 32, but we have 32. So I don't know where that came from. But anyway, that's what it's showing. This damn thing that I got here. But my top 12 prospects, and we're going to go through some of these guys, some highlights of these guys. And of course, the number one prospect is Joey Porter Jr. Let's take a look at Joey Porter Jr., man. This kid is strong. He is long, and he's a lockdown corner. He's a press man, lockdown corner, probably the best one at that in this draft. He didn't have a lot of interceptions, only one in college, but he didn't get thrown at a lot, and his stats were good. Just watch him for a minute. Just watch Porter Jr. Of course, we know Peasy, his dad, played for the Steelers, so it'd be a natural fit for him to be on the Steelers. He's fast, he's strong, he's confident. Yeah, I like this guy. He's tough. Some people say he's not going to be that great. He's a bust. Of course, people say that about every player, but I don't know how they know this already. But he is a top guy. If he's there, I think at 17, I think we're going to grab him. I think we're overthinking this thing a little bit. It could be Joey P. Jr. easily. Good closing speed. Look at that. Very nice. It's just Baum's Productions. I got to give a shout out to them. They did a lot of these pre-draft videos, and pretty good. There's his one interception. Glad we got that. That was a gift right there. But he's he's a good player, and he's a good kid. He's a very nice, good kid, no trouble. And of course, he grew up around the Steelers. His dad was on the Steelers when we won the Super Bowl, and he was there as a little boy, and here he is, a grown man. Boy, time goes by fast. I'd love that. And now that's just one of our prospects. Another one, of course, is Brian Branch from Alabama. I think this could be a steal. This guy, um, he can play multiple positions. He can play offense. He could play not offense. He could play corner. He could play safety. He could play slot corner, and he's just a stud. Let's watch him. So here he is, Brian Branch. Let's watch him in action. See what he does. Of course, he's an Alabama player. They're always good, and Mink is an Alabama player. I'm sure he'd love this. I just think this guy could be the pick. I really do. I've thought that all along. He's so smart. Let's watch him here. Wow, he's a hell of an athlete. Some people say at 180 pounds he may not be able to be strong safety, but I disagree. He played in the SEC, and he is tough and he is strong. He can make tackles. There's no problem with this guy. Look at that. Holy shit. This guy, I kind of want this guy, man. I think he will be there at 17 for sure. He could probably be there at 32, very close. But he looks like a Steeler to me. I don't know what it is, man. It would solve our slot corner issue and would solve our backup safety issue. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. One of my favorites. Once again, Just Bombs Productions. Thank you. They focused in on the guy. They did a hell of a job with these videos, and appreciate him sharing them with the Steel Studio. Oh, God, this guy. Anyway, that's another guy I think we could take. Moving on. This could be all day if I get too excited about these guys. Of course, Brian Brissy, he's been linked to the Steelers a lot. Another stud. He's from Clemson. We were at the Tomlin and Cole Omar were at the pro day. He's such a good guy and such an athlete. If we're gonna go D line, we don't trade up for the big guy from Georgia. This could be the guy that we want. Let's watch him. Here he is. This guy's a hell of an athlete too. Look at that. He's tough. He's strong. He had some issues. His sister died, but he still came back and played. He's got heart, and I know the Steelers have loved him all along. Man, he fits the mold of a Steeler D lineman, DN to take Cam Hayward, back up Cam Hayward, eventually replace him. I know I hate to say that, sad, but he is going into his 13th year, I think, or 12th year. Let's watch this guy a second. He just has great moves. He beats his man. He overpowers him. He's so fast. Boy, it'd be nice to have him coming in there and spelling Cam. And oh gosh, man, what a great guy. What a great player. This draft is so exciting. So excited. And he could fall to 32. It'd be tough, but he could. He's probably the second best D lineman in a draft. Why would we draft up for Jalen Carter? We can get this guy. He's not far behind. Jalen Carter probably would have been the best player in the draft had he not had his off the field problems. But this per se he's a stud, and he had a couple injuries. He's young, and his sister died, but. If otherwise, he probably would have been the top prospect. So I like him. I think the Steelers like him a lot. And that's another guy you could see. Boy, this is a tough draft. Other people, I think John Michael Schmitz, they've shown a big interest. I think he could be there at 32 or 49. Great center from Minnesota. He would, Cole's been great, but this guy could sit it back for a year and be the starter. Eventually for 10 years, 12 years. You never know. Another guy is John Allwright from Tennessee. He's really moved up draft boards. I like him, but I'm not sure he's a left tackle. A lot of people have him at right tackle. And just not sure about him. And then there's Deonte Banks from Maryland. Man, he's another one. He's a good player. And I think the Steelers may even like him better than Porter. Let's watch him for a second. I think he's a little bit more tougher than Porter. I don't know. All right, here he is. This kid is a little bigger and thicker than Porter. I think he's not as long, but there's just something about this kid I know Tomlin loves. He's so athletic. He's a great outside corner. Not a slot, that's the thing about him and Porter Jr. They're not slots. They can't really fill that need. I think if we draft this guy, we could end up drafting a slot as well. He's such a stud. And his Tomlin's son Dino played at Maryland. He knows the Maryland coach really well. So he knows him really well. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's confident. He could be there at 32 as well. Some people have him going as high as 10, though. I don't know. I just don't see 3-4 cornerbacks getting drafted in the first round like people think. Maybe one or two. But this guy's a good corner, man. That's what we need. We need a guy like that. And with everything else we have, Levi Wallace, everybody else we have, we'll be fine. Patrick P. I mean, he's going to teach whoever we draft. He's excited about it. I love this team. Oh, man. I like this guy. So we go back to the list here. Well, that ain't the list. Oh, boy. And as I said, Branch, Brissy, Schmitz, we talked about Wright, Banks. Another guy is Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. I think we get him in a second at 32 or 49, and he'll be fine. He'll be the backup swing tackle of Dan Moore. And if Dan Moore can't take the next step, then this guy could be the starter. I like that. Another guy we showed a lot of interest in early that a lot of people he's falling a little bit is Kaylee Ringo from Georgia. He was the number one prospect coming into the season, and he's kind of fallen off. But I think he could be better than people think. And the Steelers could still love him. Jack Campbell from Iowa, if we want to go inside. I think we could get him in the third round, man. But he is a very good player. Sidney Brown from Illinois is another one. I think he's a Palomalu type safety. And that could be a guy we grab. Keep your eye on him. And this was tough this year, man. These are just the guys that I think that we could be interested in. There's probably guys I'm not mentioning, some tight ends I'm not mentioning. The Washington kid from Georgia we like. He's a big blocker. If Mayer's there, don't be surprised. I know we signed Gentry, but it was only for 1 year. Imagine Freiermuth and Mayer going out of the backfield. My goodness. But another guy that I think we could draft is Nick Herbig from Wisconsin. His brother Nate's guy we signed. And he is an edge, and we need a third edge since we didn't get Bud, and Bud chose not to be with us. Let's check him out. I definitely think this guy could be a stealer. We can get him in a third or fourth round. Inside or outside. That is very nice for us. Because we signed some guys on the inside. And we have Robinson from last year. And this guy would be like the number 4 or 3. And he could play out. I think that's perfect if we take him. I think it's he's a perfect stealer. His brother's on the team. Look for us to take this guy. He's no slouch, man. I'd rather just play him on the outside, number 3, let him bulk up, let him learn from TJ, who's from Wisconsin as well. This is a Steeler, man. He looks like a Steeler to me. No question. Don't even worry about a Bud Dupree and all those kind of... Just sign this guy. Just draft this guy. He's got a motor. So there you go, man. I like him a lot. That was Nick Herbig from Wisconsin. I like him. I'm excited. And If none of these guys end up on the Steelers, I still love them, but I think one of them or two of them will. Last time we did this, Najee and Pat ended up. We were right. Um, and I know some of these guys won't even be in the league in 5 years. That's how it goes. But these are who we have right now, and these are exciting. And do not discount one more guy that I come up with. People aren't even talking about it anymore. He was at Pitt with Kenny, and they were a hell of a combination. He wants to be a Steeler. He said it. Kenny wants him. Don't discount that because our GM will just go get him. He doesn't give a shit. He will not give a shit. He will take him. Doesn't matter if we signed a receiver or what we did. He will take him. Let's check him out. Jordan Addison. Let's check him out. And I did the pit highlights for Jordan Anderson when he worked with Kenny. Let's watch this now. I mean, look at that. 93 receptions with a Pitt Panther. People forgetting about this guy, I'm telling you. Yeah. I mean, and there's some people too that think we could take Smith and Jigma in the first round. Don't be surprised. But I think that Kenny loves this guy. They're buddies. He could be the downfield threat that we need. I know we just signed the traded for the guy, but Robinson, but I don't know if he's a downfield threat. We need a home run hitter. And here he is right here, right in front of us. Him and Kenny had a connection. Unbelievable. A lot of people think we're going to trade Deontay. I don't see that either. Of course, we got a commercial. Jeez, these bastards. But I think he could be a Steeler. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. So there's my list of 12 guys. Once again, Joey Porter Jr., Brian Branch, Brissy, Addison, Schmitz, Darnell Wright, Deontay Banks, Harrison, Ringo, Campbell, Sidney Brown, and Nate Herbig. Nick Herbig, not Nate. He already is a Steeler. But I think one of those guys, one or two of these guys, could definitely be Pittsburgh Steelers. It's exciting. We're almost there, and we'll do some videos and talk about the people after we draft them. Very exciting, man. Tell me your thoughts. If you think I'm crazy, who you think we might take. And hey, man, you guys are the best. Love these fans. Don't listen to the negative. We're going to be just fine. Hell of an off season. Sleeper team. We're going to be right there, man. Go Steelers. Keep the faith.